Hello everyone, I hope you're doing great. I'm having a little technical difficulty with my... Okay, we're good now. So I hope you're doing great. This is my live event here in the coaching group called Six Figures and More. Not coaching group, I mean Facebook group. So if you're joining me in this group, well, the idea here is to answer all the questions you might have, concerns, problems, obstacles, etc. Be there for you for the time of this live. If you see this on YouTube, well, you can come, of course, join me in my Facebook group called Six Figures and More. So it's the number 6 figures and more. And today's topic is about having everything you want in life. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm I guess a growth hacker, a scaling strategist. I've helped thousands of people worldwide get more success in life and business, scale their revenue, increase their margins, become very good at what they do. I'd say even better, because I improve the systems, the processes, and give them the right tools to achieve what they really want. And of course, I've published a lot of books. I'm on my 42nd book now, probably going to work on the 43rd very soon, in discussions with my publisher. I've always dreamt of having publishers ask me for content and ask me for books, and now it's the case. So it's kind of a very, very amazing kind of life that I'm living. It has not always been like that. I've struggled a lot for a long time, and I finally figured out how to readjust my mindset, how to get rid of a lot of the clutter and the problems that were between the two ears, but also emotionally, spiritually, in every different level, to access the level of success that I have now, and of course move forward to even more. And I help a lot of entrepreneurs scale their business, grow their business. I've created a coaching group that is I guess an exclusive coaching group with me, where I help clients go to 5x, 10x their revenues. When you're, let's say, at 5 figures and you want to get to 6 figures, or you're at 6 figures and you want to get at 7 figures. So it's a group where people mingle, can discuss issues, and a mastermind as well, where they can have direct influence and I guess direct answers to their questions with my expertise. There's also a really big online huge toolbox, now has about 300 lessons available to access, and I create lessons all the time depending on the issues and the problems that I see people have, to have even more tools: how to write an ebook, how to create an emailing list, how to build a website in less than a day, how to all those, how to get clients on Facebook, how to get clients on social media. All those how-tos are in how to fix my mindset, my time management. There's a lot of 300, close to 300 lessons now in this humongous toolbox, on top of having me as a coach. Now, today's topic is, how can we have everything we want in life? The reason why I decided to speak about this is because a couple of weeks ago I was interviewed once again for Psychology magazine in France. And the article came out today. It was about one of my books on the law of attraction, which I have great, I guess, expertise in. I've written a lot of books on the subject and have kind of developed an art of manifestation, how to manifest your dreams into reality. And so this lady asked me a lot of questions, and the article came out yesterday. And the article title was, How Do You Get Everything You Want in Life? And I thought, wow, that's such a clever article title. And so I decided to help you out here and help you understand some of the techniques you might want to use if you personally want to get more out of life And especially in this case, because we are in a entrepreneurship, business coaching kind of group, more out of your business, how you get more clients, how do you get more sales, how do you get the life that you desire, more freedom, more financial freedom, more toys, if you want to call it like that. So I want to really talk about what will help you in your head and in the way that you think that will get you closer to the results that you want. And what I've noticed at all levels of all companies, and I coach sometimes companies that are in the $10 million, $50 million. So I coach enterprises that are at a higher level. And I also coach individuals, like in my coaching group, who are struggling at 5 figures, 6 figures. So what I've noticed at all levels is that the first obstacle to achieving the results you want and getting what you truly want is that most people do not have the precise clarity of what they want. And they ask themselves the wrong questions. So when you ask yourself the wrong question, evidently you will receive the wrong answer in your brain. So the brain is a reasoning mechanism that is there to answer your questions. So if you don't ask the right questions, you will receive the wrong answers. A wrong question might be, why I'm not successful, or I don't know how to do that. All of those are suggestions to your brain that will just go get you even less results. So the first step in order to getting what you really want in life is to having a very specific type of clarity of what you want in life. And the way to achieve that, there is a technique that I want to show you here, and I hope you do it, is to go through what is called your terror barrier. It's a barrier that's literally terrifying, that you have to push through in order to have the precise clarity of what you want on the other side. And what do I mean by that? Clarity of what you want is to know exactly what you want in life. And precisely what you want in life, not having that based upon your current circumstances, your current reality. So most people, what they do is they start where they are and they imagine what's the most realistic circumstance from where they are. What's the most probable or possible thing that might happen from where they are? And one of the wrong questions we ask is, what if I fail? That's the worst question, because what's the answer to that question is, well, if you fail, then if you start your question already assuming you're failing, the answer will take assumption upon the failure and will only give you a path to failure. Therefore, your question must be, what if I succeed? What if what I want actually happens? What if I get what I really want? So with that in mind, I helped recently a client multiply by 40 her revenue, 40. So you can just imagine how powerful just the switch in the way you ask question and the switch in how you see your future can completely transform your results. She basically realized that she was undercharging for what she was offering, that her value was actually worth 5 times more, and she found 8 more clients within 6 weeks of my program. So there you are, 40 times the revenue. So how do you do that to create what you really want? Well, the first way is to really get out of your current circumstances. So you might want to take a walk, you might want to get out of the apartment where you are, or just take maybe a one-day holiday somewhere nice and fancy and beautiful, or even an afternoon in a location that's inspiring, beautiful, welcoming, and where you feel really comfortable and well, where you can relax and let your mind, I'd say what I utilize is have the courage to dream. That's the first thing. To have the courage to dream what you really want. Not what your friends want, not what would be acceptable by others, not what would be pleasable to your spouse or your friends or your mother, father, but what you really want. So you have to completely forget about what you are, what you're living now and what your circumstances are now, and then really imagine what you want. I can give you an example that a few years ago, not that long ago, when I was unknown and no books published, broke, receiving governmental help, a check every month. I felt terrible about that. And that couldn't even cover my rent, so my mom was helping me to pay the rent at that time, which made me even feel even more terrible. But I dreamt, I had the courage to dream of becoming a super known author, traveling to sign autographs in super fancy book fairs in Paris and different Switzerland and different places in the world, become an international speaker, and even live in Florida. I was living in cold Montreal at the time. And I had the courage to dream that. So the first step is really, and it was completely out of my reality. It was completely unfathomable how I would get from where I was to that dream. But nonetheless, I dreamt it. I even created a beautiful vision board that stated bestseller and me signing autographs and a book that said bestseller on the cover. And I drew, like, I even posted pictures of all the places I wanted to visit, and all of that came true. But it came true first and foremost because I had the courage to dream it. So what I would suggest, the first exercise, the first thing you need to do is really make, I'd say, forget about your current circumstances for a few hours. They'll be there when you come back, don't worry. They won't change while maybe they'll change while you're gone for the better. Maybe they'll improve while you're gone. You're focused so much on the problems that you keep having problems. Maybe if you forget about the problems for an afternoon, maybe they'll go away. So that's just a suggestion. They might not. You might have to actually face and fix the problems. But instead of looking at all the problems right now, just forget about that for a moment and think about the solutions, right? So you never find the problems you never find the solutions where the problems are. You have to think differently to find solutions, not think as you thought to create the problem in the first place. So that's Einstein that says that. So you forget about your present circumstances, forget about the how am I gonna get there? Forget about that. Just imagine what would be the best that can ever happen to you. What would be the best that you would love to see yourself live, experience, enjoy? And that will be the location, that will be the goal. So that is the first step, and be really detailed about it. You know, I knew that I wanted precisely to live near the beach in Florida. I knew that I wanted to be an author, that I wanted my books, that I sign my books, travel the world. I knew all of that, but it was scary because I had no clue how I was gonna get there, right? Broke and in an environment that didn't allow me to create that reality. The second step, once you have created that environment, is to, and there's a lot that has to do with that in how you particularly create that environment, but the first is really creating that and doing it for you, what would make you happy. You know, how many clients would you like to have? How much are your clients paying you? What are you doing afterwards? So instead of thinking of the how from here to there, think of what happens after you realize that dream. So perhaps you can think, well, what happens after I make 10 grand a month? Do I hire someone? Do I invest in advertising? Do I create another product? Do I write a book? What do I do then? And that'll already switch your thinking from the problem thinking to the solution thinking. So once you switch your thinking, the next step is to analyze that place you want to go in, and see how aligned you are with that result. What I found is that a lot of people will create something that they're supposed to want, that looks good on paper, or that would make them look good, or that would make them prove themselves to someone. Don't do things to prove yourself to others. Do something that is gonna make your heart sing. That's why you live, is to make your heart sing. That's why God created you, is to make your heart sing. So think of something that makes your heart sing. And once you imagine that, see how much you resonate with those circumstances. I'll give you an example again with the idea of the book signing and all of that, is that I absolutely wanted to be an author, but there was one little grain of discontentment, or that something I disliked in that dream, and I saw that as a problem. So if within your dream, within your goal, you already imagine or think problem associated with your dream, well, you can be sure that you will never reach it, because your brain absolutely wants to avoid problems. So even if you're speaking a language that involves problems, your mind will try to avoid them. For example, if you say, I have money problems. If money is a problem, the brain will take that as reality, and then more money will mean more problems. You might say consciously, no, that's not the case, but the way you word things have a real effect on your brain. So for me, my little grain of dissatisfaction, of problem, was that I imagined being an author, but I didn't like going through all the little towns doing book signing. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to be an author, but only go through big events to book sign. So every time I thought about it, this little grain of dissatisfaction actually blocked completely my results. It was the grain that blocked the entire mechanism of my brain, because it was that little dissatisfaction that in my brain caused it to think, oh, that situation is actually going to be uncomfortable, unpleasant, bring a problem, bring something she doesn't like. Let's avoid the whole thing altogether. So once you imagine what you want, be careful that you don't have those kind of little grains of dissatisfaction or things that might block the entire mechanism, and that will make it so that you actually associate that goal with little bits of problems. And those you find when you think, yeah, but it would be nice, yeah, but I would have this to do, or yeah, but that would mean this. Sometimes we're more scared of success than we're scared of failure, because it's the what will happen then that can create a lot of fear, a lot of uncomfort, and then what will you do? You will auto-sabotage yourself. You will sabotage your success because it's too scary to be there, because you associated something there that was negative at the end. And you don't want the negative, so you will, of course, absolutely try to always avoid the negative. Of course, you may also self-sabotage or sabotage your success because of other limiting beliefs, or negative self-esteem, or of course a lack of confidence, or your your imposter syndrome that might eventually lead you to sabotaging your results. So there's a lot of things that create sabotage, that create you to destroy what you have accomplished. But nonetheless, before you destroy it, you want to reach the destination. And you'll never reach the destination if you can't imagine, or if you can imagine it, but when you imagine it, something inside you is not totally aligned and makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable. It takes just a little grain to block the entire mechanism. So I hope this clarifies and helps you solve maybe questions you might have had, or maybe this resonates with you now at this moment. Maybe this video came at the perfect time for you. Often it does. We see things that we're ready to learn, ready to hear. And if you want to go further and forward and really go through that terror barrier and get to the other side and get to more results, more clients, higher levels of success, higher levels of everything, and get what you really want in life, well, I suggest you say either yes if you are in this Facebook group, and in this case, I will send you a link to a group coaching offer that I now have, and that won't last very long because there is a special offer within it that is an hour with me personally. My hourly fee goes anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000, so it can give you an idea that it's really worth it. I usually save people a couple of years just within that hour. So that's just for that, it's worth joining, and that won't last simply because my time is limited, and so I won't offer it to everyone, just to the first that join. And of course, you will receive a link that gives you more information about all that is offered. So the idea is, as soon as you join and you pay the fee, you have a 7-day money back guarantee. So if you don't like it, I'll reimburse you, no questions asked. I know you'll like it because just the tools that are available online are worth the investment. And also, of course, having always your question answered, having this constant support for every issue that you might have, whether it's, dealing with clients, knowing how to sell, knowing where to find your leads, how to close a deal, how to create a website, whatever it is that you need, you will get an answer for. And of course, having ongoing mastermind groups with coaching, ongoing coaching that will help you move forward much faster without any grain in the mechanism. So the ride will be much smoother, and you won't have those panic attacks and those fearful thoughts that block you from moving forward. So I hope I see you in my coaching group. If you see this on YouTube, of course, subscribe to my channel. And if you are on YouTube, you will find the link to the course under the video in the description. Thank you, and have a lovely rest of your day.